Hi everyone, welcome to the new channel. Yes, guys, this is my new channel. This is Christopher Jackson Denver. Yes, guys, the same channel as my old channel. But yes, guys, welcome to the new channel. I appreciate everybody that joins and comments down below. I appreciate it very much, guys. We're going to talk about MLW Slaughterhouse and AEW Full Gear. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's start off with MLW Slaughterhouse. So we begin with highlights from Lucha Azteco, and we see Contra attacking people in the back, and they make their way to the ring. And K1 says, right here, right now, listen to what we have to say. Welcome to Contra Slaughterhouse. And Matt Kroger tells Akira and Matt Riddle and Akira and Yojima that their blood will stain all of their warriors as they dominate. Continues Hell Contra, and then Akira and Yojima and Akira attack Contra, and most of them fight to the back where Yojima is attacked by Kusuke and K1, and Matt Riddle comes out with a chair to fight them off, and Matt Riddle tells Dojima he has been one hell of a MLW champion, and he says that have done it all, and he says he won the Battle Riot, and he said he will get the pick when they meet January 11th in Dallas, Texas, and the Cross Horsemen make their way to the ring, and BRG has something to say, and he wants everyone to be quiet, and that does the opposite, and he says to take a good look because this is what the sense looks like, and he says if you do not believe him, we are standing in a sold out George Soul Stadium, and the four of them sold this out. And he tells the crowd to stop disrespecting them because the last man to disrespect them was Paul London, and they put him on the injury list. And do you know who has been pissing them off lately? The Whom I Ate Fight Club, and they act if you are the number one faction in MLW. That might have been true a few years ago, but the Crows and Horsemen will assert that they put the Whom I Fight Club to sleep. And then Alex Kane and Mr. Thomas and Kevin Knight come out, and Alex Kane asks if you want to see the Whom I Fight Club to put who through a table. And like I said again, guys, this match right here, this table match with the Whom I Fight Club and the Andersons with BRG, freaking good stuff, man. BRG by their side, good stuff, man. Good stuff, I'm telling you. Good stuff, I'm telling you. With the Andersons versus the Whom I Fight Club, good tables match, I'm telling you. Let's talk about it anyways, guys. So, yes, guys. So, Mr. Thomas and Kane and Knight fight with Fish and the Andersons before the referee starts the match, and Knight and Fish fight to the floor while Kane and Thomas and the Andersons continue the battle in the ring, and Brock Anderson and C.W. Anderson with Bobby Fish and BRG versus Alex Kane and Mr. Thomas in a tables match, and Mr. Thomas and Alex Kane punch Brock and CW from the turnbuckle, and BRG with a low blow on Thomas, while Fish and Knight continue the fight outside the ring, and CW and Brock go for a table but decide to leave it, and Alex Kane and Alex Kane threw punches to Brock with Brock and sends him into the apron, and Mr. Thomas brings a table into the ring, and CW with a forearm to Thomas, and Brock with a forearm, and Alex Kane punches Brock, and CW punches, and Alex Kane and follows with a forearm, and CW sets up a chair, and Kane gives CW a drop toe hold onto the chair, and Mr. Thomas with a shoulder to Brock and a splash to CW and Brock, and BRG goes to the ringside, and Mr. Thomas sends CW and Brock and hits a splash, and CW falls to the floor while Thomas deals with Brock, and BRG sets up the table onto the floor, and Paul London sends BRG to the back, and Mr. Thomas, hold on, guys. Mr. Thomas, I'll say it again. So hits a splash to the table to the floor, and Paul London sends BRG to the back, and Mr. Thomas tries to So what's up, everybody? Back again. So I'll say it again. Mr. Thomas with a shoulder to Brock with a splash to CW and Brock, and BRG goes to the ringside, and Mr. Thomas sends CW into Brock and hits a splash, and CW falls to the floor while Mr. Thomas deals with Brock, and BRG sets up a table onto the floor, and Paul London sends BRG to the back, and Mr. Thomas tries to suplex Brock to the floor, and CW with a powerbomb that sends Mr. Thomas off the apron through a table through a table onto the floor while Brock punches Thomas, and Alex Kane goes for a pump handle suplex, but CW with a super kick, and CW punches Alex Kane onto a chair, and CW is sent through a table on Brock with a punch, but Alex Kane drops Brock onto the top for a chair, and Alex Kane sets up the table and Brock with a spinebuster through the table for the 3 count, and that's how Brock Anderson and W. Anderson defeated Alex Kane and Mr. Thomas, to whom I ate Fight Club, guys. And that's what happened right there. Then we go to a footage of Paul Walter Hauser with Eric Bischoff, and Paul talks about the product to Eric and how Eric got involved with MLW, which that was, a couple weeks ago and stuff that they were talking about that, and stuff. And then we go to a commercial, and Matthew Justice talks about all of the time that he questions everything. He keeps cashing his dream, and he is still here, and he says he wants to be able to do what he does, and he says he has given everything every time, and he goes out and the fans give it back to him. And Justice says he was told to not get as crazy as he did last time, and so and Matthew Justice is asked about the bell of the belt of bullets, and he says James Helfel and Fleming wards it, so he wars it, and he tells him in New York, talking about his question for gold, and he says this is for 18 years of trial and assurance to prove that he is worth of everything, and he has been given, and he has not want anyone question him, and he says he will prove this point, and he sees highlights from his match against Badu Tudo, and he says every time he goes to the ring, what the fans give to him, he feeds up to it and gives it back. And Matthew Justice says the work has just begun, and he says he wants to be a fighting champion. Then we had a Cora fences K1. Little fun match right here, guys. They connect with a shoulder tackle and exchange punches, and K1 with a side headlock and shoulder tackle, and he punches up Akira, and Akira with a shoulder tackle, and K1 with a shoulder tackle that takes Akira down, and Akira runs into a back elbow, and K1 with a leg sweep and kick to the back, and K1 with an elbow, and he sends Akira to the floor, and K1 falls, and he kicks Akira in the back end of the head, and K1 yells at the ring announcer, and then he rakes Akira's eye, and K1 sends Akira into the turnbuckle, followed by a shoulder arm clothesline, and K1 chokes Akira into the ropes, and K1 with a back heel kick, and he misses a Shining Wizard. Both go for a clothesline, and Akira with a exploder, and K1 with a twist kick and a sling blade backbreaker for a near fall, and K1 puts K1 onto the turnbuckle, and he hits a cutter off the turnbuckle for the 3 count, and that's how Akira defeated K1. Like I said again, a little fun match right there. Then after the match, K1 has some issues with the ref, and he sees the footage of the pinfall, and K1 shoulder was up, and Tom Lawler brings out Barber Carvel, I think that's how you pronounce the name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but Carvio for an interview, which with the barbecue, he was eating barbecue ribs and stuff, and then he rubbed it onto Tom Lawler's t-shirt and stuff, guys. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kind of funny, I'm telling you, but yeah. And then Tom asks Barrio about Misto, and he says he needs to face Misto for his championship, and he offered Tom some ribs, and then he pats Tom on the shoulder, and Tom asks what kind of rib is this, and Bravo leaves, and then he takes a look at matches that Eric Bischoff has announced for December 5th, and Matt Riddle faces Dominic Dijak, and Misto defends the middleweight title against Trevor Lee, known as Cameron Grimes. And K1 and Kusuke defend the tag titles against Agura and Yojima, and Matthew Justice in the mystery I'll say it again, mystery partner will face the Andersons in a simulation dem, dem, demands by Eric Bischoff. I'll say it again, separation of derangement by Eric Bischoff, and then Yojima is eating some course in. I'll say it again, guys. Yojima is eating some croissants with nutsala, and Matt Riddle shows up, and Matt Riddle asks if he has the munchies, and Matt Riddle says he is taking out Usika tonight, and they chant bitches. Oh, bitch contra, contra. And then we had another match. Kenta fences Paul London. Fun match right here. Fun match with Kenta and Paul London, guys. And like I said again, guys, Yojima eating, what I'm saying, having the munchies and stuff with the contra, the croissant, and the chocolate stuff, eating with chocolate, and stuff, and then Matt Riddle doing the whole chant with just contra. That was funny though, guys. But let's talk about Kenta fences Paul London. Let's talk about it. Paul offers his hand, and Kenta kicks it away, and Paul with a twist lock, and Kenta with a twist lock into a hammer lock, and Paul with a front face lock, and Kenta back Paul's into the corner, and Paul releases the hold, and they lock up, and Paul with a side headlock and a shoulder tackle, but Kenta stands on his feet, and Paul goes for another shoulder tackle, but Kenta stands on his feet again, and Paul with a drop kick, and he runs into a boot from Kenta, and Kenta spanks Paul in the ropes, and Paul offers Kenta another shot, and Paul kicks Kenta, and Paul with a forearm, and he sends Kenta to the floor, and Paul goes to the floor, and he chases Kenta around the ring and through the ring, and Kenta kicks Paul when they could return to the floor, and Kenta sends Paul back into the ring, and Paul with forearms, and Kenta with kicks, and Kenta with a hard Irish whip, and Kenta with a snapmare kick to the back, and Paul drops Kenta onto the top rope, and he gets a near fall with a sunset flip, and Paul with a kick to the leg, and Paul misses an Izanari, and Kenta with a whisk kick, and Paul and Kenta with a sending Swiss Paul back to Kenta into the turnbuckle. Then he runs into a boot, and Kenta with a tornado hot shot followed by a clothesline off the turnbuckle for a near fall, and Kenta with a Yuka kick and a Sensen drop kick into the corner, and Kenta gets Paul up on his shoulder, and Paul escapes, and Kenta with a DDT for a near fall, and Kenta goes up top, and he hits a double stomp for a near fall, and Kenta goes up top again, and he misses a double stomp, and when Paul moves, Paul with a spinning heel kick for a near fall, and Paul puts Kenta into a position and goes up top, but Kenta stops him with punches, and Kenta goes for the turnbuckle for a superplex, and Paul with forearms, and he knocks Kenta off the turnbuckle, and Paul with a rush room stomp for a near fall, and Paul gets Kenta on his shoulders, but Kenta reverses, and Paul gets to his foot, and Paul kicks Kenta and hits a shoulder from the apron, and Kenta with a Yuka kick and goes to sleep for the 3 count, and that's how Kenta defeated Paul London, which was a fun match. Like I said again, guys, loved it, man. Just really loved it. Let's say it again, guys. After the match with the Doomsday Clock countdown, well, Kenta's in the ring, and Dominant Dijak makes his way to the ring, and Kenta with punches to Dijak, but Dijak with a clank lone kick and fish your eyes, and MSL gets on the mic. Well, they take Kenta from the ring, and MSL says it's time for a Dijak hijack, and he says if there is anyone in the locker room who has the big balls to face the Desolator, MSL says he has the open contract and they aren't going anywhere to someone accepts it, and Kevin Knight comes out with a pin, and Mr. Thomas and Knight and Thomas look at the contract and Knight signs it, and Dijak fences Kevin Knight. Fun match right here. Loved it. Loved this match with Kevin Knight and Dijak. Freaking loved it, man. Dijak misses a punch, and Dijak with a side headlock, and Knight lands on his feet on a hip toss, and he sends Dijak into the turnbuckle, and Knight is sent to the apron, and he connects with a forearm, and Dijak with a clothesline, and he gets a near fall, and Dijak with punches to Knight, and Dijak gets a near fall, and Dijak with a suplex thrown, and he hits a running back elbow into the corner, and Dijak with forearms, and he hits a hard Irish whip, and Dijak gets Knight up for a slam, and Knight gets on his feet and he punches Dijak and he falls with forearms, and Dijak gets his knees, but Knight with a drop kick, and Dijak misses an elbow in the corner, and Knight with kicks and uppercuts, and Dijak pushes Knight away. Then Dijak goes over the top turnbuckle to the floor. Well, Knight drops down, and Knight with a baseball slide, but Dijak moves, and Knight with a shoots into Dijak, and he sends Dijak into the back, and Knight with a springboard clothesline for a near fall, and Knight gets on for a DDT to Dijak and gets Knight on his shoulders, and Knight with a victory roll for a near fall, and Knight gets with a clothesline into the corner, and Dijak with an Irish whip, but he runs into a boot, and Dijak kicks Knight into the turnbuckle, and he sends for a choke slam, and he hits a set out choke bomb for a near fall, and Dijak goes to the turnbuckle, and he misses the moonsault, and he sends on his feet, and Knight runs into a boot, and Kevin Knight with a Frankensteiner follows up by a twisting splash for a near fall, and Knight gets Dijak on his shoulders, but Dijak blocks a kick, and he hits a twist kick, and Knight with an Incendiary with Dijak with a clone kick and a fish eye for the win, and that's how Dijak defeated Kevin Knight, guys. Then Joe Dombrowski interviews Dijak and MSL and takes the mic, and he tells Joe nobody talks to his man without taking money in his pocket, and Dijak is here to interrupt and destroy and repeat, and he says he was too busy wasting his money on that loser Tom Lawler, and now that he has Dijak with him, he has made all his money back and so much more. And Dijak says MSL has the guts to stand in the ring with him, and Kevin Knight had the guts to stand in the ring with him, and there is more than he can say about a loser like Tom Lawler, and he calls him Tom. He calls Tom a wash-up fight cage fighting coward, and MSL says they are going to New York and Dallas and Atlanta place better than Chicago, and they're going to do the same thing, disrupt and destroy and repeat. And then we see photos of Selena's baby girl, and Matt Kroger says the body count will continue to raise when Gusuki breaks Matt Riddle, and he will breathe the blood of Akira, and we go to Lunta Femla, and Cesar Duran and Selena Del Renta says one family, one house. They are united, and this is us against the world. And Caesar says they are the greatest family, and Lucha Lubre, and he wants to know who is threatening them with these notes and who has the sense to kidnap him, and the baby starts to cry, and then Selena Del Renta says, "Get that baby out of here, get the baby out of here," and stuff like that. And then Caesar says they're going to feed you to the dogs. And then we had GJ Ray fences. They'll meet Del Me EXO, also again, Del Me EXO fences GJ Ray, which was a little fun women's match right here, guys. Let's talk about it. They lock up and Ray with a side headlock, and Ray returns to the ring and headlocks and sends off the ropes, and EXO escapes and misses a kick, and Ray with a backside for a near fall, and EXO with a jackknife cover, but Ray bridges out and she goes for a power bomb, but EXO blocks it, and Ray escapes a Delmia driver, and Ray with a butterfly suplex for a near fall, and Ray with a twist lock, and she works on the arm, and Ray with a shoulder and an arm whizzer, and Ray with a sliding clothesline, and EXO with a forearm and chop, and EXO misses a kick but hits a twist kick, and EXO misses an elbow into the corner, and she kicks Ray away and hits a blockbuster for a near fall, and Ray with a back heel kick, and she hits a driver for a near fall, and then EXO with a twist lock, and Ray with an elbow and single leg trip and a kick to the arm, and Ray with a cross arm breaker, and EXO rolls over and gets the 3 count. That was a good move right there. That was really good right there, guys. Really good stuff. Then after the match, me, Del Me, EXO, and GJ Ray shake hands, which was nice sportsmanship right there. Nice sportsmanship. And then Joe asks Del Me how does it feel to be winning again, and Del Me says Cicero has been fantastic tonight, and she has said that one was for them, and Demia says all of the cheap tricks and dirty tactics that Janai Kai wants to use, and Janai Kai attacks Nomi and sends her into the apron and then into the ring and steps. Kai sends Ixo into the ring, and she takes a pair of scissors, and they were in the table into the announce table, and she cuts her hairs, guys. Yes, she cut Domi Exo's hair off and stuff right there, guys, as well, which we'll talk about. And Kai kicks Ento in the head, and Kai cuts Exo's hair and whips her feet with the Mexican flag, then steps on Exo's back, which that was disrespectful right there to her heritage right there. But heel work, in my opinion, it's heel work, but disrespect to the heritage of, Del Mia Exo's heritage. So then Christian Cole is in the back waiting for an update on Kenta's decision after what Nijak did to him. So yes, guys, he'll be out for about 8 weeks. Hopefully speed recovery for him and stuff like that. I know I don't talk about injuries that much, but yes, guys, he'll be out for about 8 weeks, which we'll talk about here in a bit. Then we had Yusuke with K1 fences Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle fences Yusuke. Love this match too. Love this match too, man. They lock up in Yusuke with a near chin lock into a side headlock, and Matt Riddle with a clean break, and Matt Riddle with a twist lock, and Yusuke back Riddle into the corner, and the refs separate them, and they have words with each other, and Matt Riddle pushes Gusuki, and Gusuki chops Matt Riddle, and they go back and forth with chops, and Matt Riddle with forearms, and Yusuke with chops, and they continue to exchange, and Matt Riddle with kicks, and gets to the rope, and Yusuke chops Matt Riddle onto the floor, and he hits Matt Riddle in the midsection back with a chair, and Yusuke sends Matt Riddle into the announce table, and Matt Riddle with chops and forearms, and Yusuke sends Matt Riddle back into the ring, and Yusuke with a forearm, and Matt Riddle with chops, and Matt Riddle with strikes, and he sends Yusuke into the corner and falls with a knee and a forearm, and Matt Riddle goes for an exploder, but Yusuke blocks it, and Yusuke runs into an elbow, and Matt Riddle with a twist suicide for a near fall, and Yusuke gets his towel and he chokes Matt Riddle with it, but the ref tells him to release the choke, and Yusuke with a near naked choke, and Matt Riddle with a jumping knee and a package tombstone for the 3 count with the Derek Bro, the Derek Bro, and that's how he won, guys. And then after the match, Tom Lawler goes to the ring and talks to Matt Riddle, and Tom congratulates Matt on his victory, and he brings up Matt announcing he wants to face Yojima for the title at King of Coliseum, and Tom Lawler offers his service to Matt to train for his match with Yojima, and Matt says that sounds amazing. He says that sounds filthy, and we are told that Kenta is out for 8 weeks due to grade 2 dislocated shoulder, and Cesar Duran walks in the back and he tells Misto what Barvel did to him was terrible, and Misto says that Carvio disrespected him, and he will give. I'll say it again. He will get even. He will give even with him. And then Akira says there are people who live to keep them down so they can give to the up, and that is Matt Kroger and Contra, and this is kind of man that he doesn't believe in, and he sees an animal and a demon and a dirty bag that he looks in his eye, and he wants to sense against the match, and he saw what this match did to Matt and to Fatu, and he says he expects to die a little tonight, and that will be a weapons ringside, and tonight he will stand up the demons and tells he did not kill him, and Matt Kroger will not fucking scare him. And that's what happened right there, guys. And that was really good stuff right there. And he was talking about Jacob Fatu, which is in WWE right now, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like right there when I was saying Fatu, so. Then we had Bobby Fish fences Yojima in a no title match. This was a little fun match right here as well. Bobby Fish with kicks into the tight, and Fish goes for a leg, but Yojima into the ring ropes, and Fish with a knee to the tights, and they lock up, and Fish with a twist lock and a takedown, and Fish with a twist lock, and Yojima gets to the ropes, and they lock up, and Yojima with a side headlock and shoulder tackle, and Yojima with a kick in a forearm, and Fish with kicks in a forearm, and Yojima sends Fish into the turnbuckle, and he's punches Fish, and Fish goes to the floor, and he kicks Yojima in the knee to send him to the floor, and Fish with a forearm, and he hits a dragon screw onto the floor, and Fish returns to the ring, and he goes back to the floor and kicks Yojima and sends him to the ring, and Fish with a knee drop to the leg, and Bobby Fish with punches, and he puts Yojima into the turnbuckle, and Fish goes for a superplex, and he turns into a super jackhammer for a near fall, and Fish with a knee bar, and Yojima gets to the ropes, and Fish with kicks to the chest and a kick to the leg, and Yojima with kicks and a cutter, and Yojima sets for a lariat, but Fish with an exploder, and Fish with a sleeper, but Yojima with a jawbreaker and a brainbuster for a near fall, and Yojima with a lariat for the win, and that's how Yojima defeated Bobby Fish, guys, with the lariat. Then Christian Cole is with Kenta, and he asks for comments, and Kenta says maybe it's time for Bullet Club to come to MLW. That would be sick. Bullet Club and MLW, sick, man, just sick. Then we had the main event. The main event was sick. It was sick. It was great. It was great. It was great, man. Let's talk about this match. Oh, I love this match, man. I'm telling you. Let's talk about it. So Matt Kroger fences Akira, I'll say it again. Matt Kroger fences Akira in a weapons of mass destruction, and Akira with a suicide dive before the ring bell ringed, and Akira escapes a choke slam, and he hits Matt with a Matt Kroger with a chair, and Akira throws the chair at Matt Kroger and knocks him off the apron, and Akira with a double slunch off the turnbuckle to the floor, and Akira sends Matt Kroger into a tray, and he tries to open it, but Matt Kroger stops him, and Matt Kroger punches Akira, and Matt Kroger gets a leather strap, and he rips Akira with it, and Akira with chomps to Matt Kroger, and Matt Kroger sends Akira into the ring post, and Akira with twist kicks, and he throws a case at Matt Kroger, and Matt Kroger sends Akira into the ring, and Matt Kroger brings a case into the ring, and Akira with a helmet on, and this is running headbutt, and Matt Kroger throws Akira into the guardrail and ring steps, and Matt Kroger gets it sense and hits Akira in the ribs and head, and Akira with punches and kicks, and Akira with a double stomp onto Matt Kroger's leg, and then Akira throws one of the case onto Matt Kroger's leg, and Akira with a rolling kick into the corner for a near fall. And then Agora gets a steel gutter, and Matt Kroger blocks it, and Matt Kroger puts it on Agora's forehead and presses it into his flesh, and Matt Kroger does it to the upper chest, and Agura bleeds from the sixth part of his blood, and Matt Kroger punches Agura, and Agura spits at Matt Kroger, and Matt Kroger with a powerbomb, and he gets a near fall with a Jericho cover, and Matt Kroger puts one of the cases in the corner, and Agura with punches and headbutts, and Agura tries to use the gutter, the cheese cheddar on Matt Kroger, and Matt Kroger blocks it and headbutts Agura's Matt Kroger in an elbow in the corner, and Agura with punches, and Matt Kroger punches back, and Agura goes to the floor, and Matt Kroger gets the barbed wire bat, and he brings it into the ring, and Matt Kroger brings a container of salt. Man, I'm telling you. That was sick. And then he hits Agura, and he goes into the wombs, and Matt Kroger sends over Agura with the bat, and he misses Agura and hits Matt Kroger with the bat over his body. Then he head, and Agura goes to the turnbuckle and hits a frog splash with the bat between him and Matt Kroger, and Agura gets a near fall, and Agura sets for a slam onto the chair, and Matt Kroger blocks it and choke slams Agura into the chair for a near fall, and Matt Kroger with a full Nelson slam for the 3 count, and Matt Kroger defeats Agura, and that's what happened right there, guys. Then after the match, Agura puts a plastic bag over Matt Kroger's head, and that's what happened on the show, and I give this show an 8 out of 10, guys. Slaughterhouse was a very good show. I give it an 8 out of 10, guys. Now, let's talk about Full Gear. I'm going to take a little break right here. I thought Full Gear was a decent show. I thought it was a decent show, guys. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's talk about AEW Full Gear now, guys. Anna Jay defeated Deonna Purrazzo. That was a good match on the Sierra Hour. Let's talk about it. Taya Valkyrie tries to run distraction early, but Anna Jay was able to foot off Deonna Purrazzo with a run house kick and rolling neck breaker for 2. And Anna Jay went up top, but Deonna Purrazzo takes the ref, allowing Taya Valkyrie to against distraction. And Anna Jay long enough for Deonna Purrazzo to take control, and Anna Jay tries to come back, but Deonna Purrazzo found a flat lantern into a clutch, and Anna Jay escapes and managed another twist kick into a double down for the reset, and Clues Fest infused as Anna Jay fired up with a series of strikes and snap drop kick and a corner strike, and Anna Jay wanted the Queen Slater, but Deonna Purrazzo counters almost into the finish del Minto, but Anna Jay goes to the ropes, and both ladies are up, and Anna Jay hits a neck breaker through the ropes, but Taya Valkyrie pulls Anna Jay outside and hits a spear right in front of the ref, and inside of just disqualifying Deonna Purrazzo and injecting Taya Valkyrie, which the commentators tells us was a judgment call, and Deonna Purrazzo slants into an arm breaker, but Anna Jay quickly rolls her up for a splash pin, and that's what happened right there, guys, and that's how she won. Then Ness Diller is backstage with Billy Starks, who we're told is one of the entrants of the Ring of Honor side of the 4-way Women's Cup, qualifying to see who will move on to the Wrestle Dynasty into Tokyo Dome. And Ring of Honor Women's TV Champion Red Velvet walks in and says she also's in it, and mocks Billy Starks and saying she will defend it already. And Leah Ursh joins, and she says she's in the match finally, and Ring of Honor World Champion Athena interrupts and says she's the final entrance in it, but wonders why she's been beating all of them before they argue and end the statement, which was good, guys. Really good stuff right there. Then after we heard from the pre-show crew, after we heard from the pre-show crew again, about more matches tonight, and Les Naylor is backstage with QT Marshall and asks him about laying out Big Boom AJ on Rampage during their weigh-in, and QT Marshall runs down New Jersey and says AJ resents the trash jersey as the offer, and he worse than Bruce Springsteen himself, and says everyone can thank him for the house tonight. And then a commercial is shown for AEW being Sassoons on Max New Year's Day for Fight for the Fallen. Then we had a four-way with Buddy Matthews fences Dante Martin and Commander and the Beast Mortals. Good match. Good match right here. Good match. Let's talk about it. Buddy Matthews won this match, guys. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about this. Buddy Matthews defeated Dante Martin and Commander and the Beast Mortals. Really good match, like I said again. Love this match, guys. So the little ovation for Buddy Matthews before the bell as they sense the smells time, and he and Beast Mortals going at it, but Commander and Dante Martin keep the finishing, and Dante Martin pulls up Commander into a sense Kursagarana on Buddy Matthews, but the Beast Mortals does a test of strength with both Commander and Martin. After losing that in battle, Commander and Martin takes turns hitting, since launching crossbodies. Dante Martin takes turns to hitting to since launching crossbodies and blocks to everyone tossing superplex spot, only to be cut off. Dante Martin flipping over Buddy Matthews, who responds with a twist kick into the outside, allowing the Beast Mortals to hit a twisting tornado tornado, and Buddy Matthews falls with a somersault dive, as this allows Commander to do his rope walk dive onto the pell onto a huge pop, and then back inside. Commander wanted his ropes and walks shooting star, and Buddy Matthews offenses it, but the Beast Mortals, who sends him into the steps, the Beast Mortals hits a sense lay blower on Commander and hits a huge Samoan drop on Dante Martin, and Buddy Matthews and the Beast Mortals finally went for it, and without resistance as he spikes the Beast Mortals with a Shin's DDT, and Buddy Matthews lands darts on Commander into Dante Martin into the corner before flanking Commander with a jackhammer for two, and Dante Martin counters Buddy Lawn into a roll-up for two, as he does the same to Commander till both pop up and hits a triple Big Boo, and Buddy Matthews floats in with a pursuit on Dante Martin, but Commander was there with a spinning DDT, and the Beast Mortals charges in with a crucifix bomb, but Dante Martin was there for a springboard and lariat for the reset, and this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome chance. And then a fliss fest of all four to the Beast Mortal starts firing off headbutts, and Commander floats in with a. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. Commander floats in with a spring. Again, guys. Commander floats in with a springboard. Poison Corona leads to Dante Martin's frog splash, but he made the cover, and Buddy Matthews connects with a curb stomp to Dante Martin, and that's how Buddy Matthews won. Man, that was a good match, I'm telling you. And then this boom, 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 Big Boom AJ fences QT Marshall. This was funny, man. Oh man, I love this match, man. This match was good though, but it was funny though. Seeing the Drizzler going like this. I like the Drizzler, the guy that does, the little kid that does this. Oh man, I'm telling you, I love that kid. Oh man. And then Paul White was introduced as the special guest commentator, the ruler, who got a huge ovation. Yep, he got a huge ovation, that kid, man. Then the special guest timekeeper was him, and then QT Marshall comes out with the security guards. So yes, guys, the Grizzler was the timekeeper, Man, that was cool though, I'm telling you. And then Big Boom AJ and the Big Justice by his side, high-fiving and stuff like that, which was fun and stuff. So yes, guys, let's talk about it anyways, guys. And then and stuff like that. And then early takedown from QT Marshall and mocks AJ stance, but AJ returns the favor, and you still got it, chance. And then QT Marshall hits one shoulder tackle, but runs into a power slam by AJ for a near fall and high back body drop and clothesline to the floor by AJ as Marshall security is fronted him off before running distraction, and QT Marshall tries a flip dive, but Big Boom AJ sidesteps all the security went down, and QT Marshall hits a kick through the ropes as Big Boom AJ tries to get him back into the ring as a snap DDT follows, and the camera keeps cutting to the Drizzler to "We want Drizzler, we want the Drizzler, we want the Drizzler" chants, which was fun. Then Tony Giovanni says he should start grabbing his chain, and Excalibur asks which one, which was hilarious, and AJ starts hugging up with punches and lands Marshall with a spinebuster, and AJ went up top and hits a diving clothesline before following it up with a running power slam for two, and QT Marshall cut AJ off guard with a handspring panel kick followed by a diamond cutter, but only for a near fall, and then QT Marshall went after the Drizzler, but White's sense up front of him, and Excalibur questioned if QT Marshall was about to assault a child, something would never have the answer to, and QT Marshall went up top but was cut off by AJ, who hits a superplex, and Aaron Solo hits the ring and runs distraction and eats a punch from his trouble, but it's allowed QT Marshall to hit a pump kick as Big Dusty pulls in QT Marshall with a spear. The kid Big Just hits a spear on QT Marshall. Oh man, that was funny, man. Oh, that was funny, man. That was funny, man. And this led to Big Boom AJ to hit the powerbomb for the win, and AJ and Big Justice and the Drizzler stand tall in celebration. And that's what happened right there, guys. That was funny. Loved it, man. I'm telling you, just loved it. Just loved it. And then Mercedes Moné and Camille were walking backstage, where Mercedes Moné told her heater that it's been embarrassing lately how Camille is penning for attention, and Camille was about to stand up from herself when she hold back, and Mercedes Moné says she doesn't ask for Camille to speak so she can stand backstage and see how a real woman gets the job done. And then they played the great full Menemer Rain hype video one more time before the start of the main card. And then we had the main card, guys. The main card start off with the four-way. Great match. I'm telling you, the four-way with the Private Party. The Private Party fences the Outrunners, fences the Acclaim, fences the House of Black. I'm telling you, man, this was good. I'm telling you. The Private Party, the Outrunners. I love the Outrunners too, man. I'm telling you. I thought they did good in this match as well. But let's talk about it anyways, guys. So, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn are back to having their shots entrance, and this time with shots girls landing in the entrance ramp during the intro and stuff, and every time the Acclaim got a pretty big good reaction, and Black and Quinn kicked things off, trading a series of takedowns to Black had a sit and pop up and near hits the end, but Mark Quinn dodges and blinds, tags by Anthony Bones as Isaiah Cassidy joins, and they trade arm drags until a famouser connects, and Mac Caster was playing to the crowd and misses a tag, allowing the Outrunners to make a quick tag and keep Isaiah Cassidy grounded, and Triple Floyd and Brody King were left in the ring for a blues fix with Floyd hooking up to the light of the crowd, and Black joins his partner as it was Bowens, who was land with a superplex and double footstep combo to Malachi Black, hits a diving moonsault onto a pill onto the floor and back inside. Mark Quinn eats a pop-up knee lift as Isaiah Cassidy tries a flying in, but eats a right hand in midair as Malachi Black and Buddy King forced everyone to regroup, and that happened officially as it was a 6-on-1 attack on King to Anthony Bowens, hits a scissor me timbers, and Anthony Bowens teases a handshake scissors with Floyd, but Max Caster breaks things up before it could happen, which gets a boo, and everyone takes turns hitting a high impact move to Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn were left tall, standing tall, hitting Turo's 450 splash on the Outrunner for 2, and Floyd and True Exum battled back and did their since Trader elbow drop, and as they wanted total recall, but King and Black cut them both off, and King flowed Owens with a black hold slam in corner cannonball with Black, and they tried again, but Caster twists the leg and allowing the Outrunners to officially hit the total recall on King for the 2, and then Max Kroger, Max Kroger flips off the top with a drop kick onto Black as Caster chants were heard, and he played through into it, and Anthony Bowens just stared his partner as Billy Gunn tries to give his team advice as Max keep on making mistakes, guys. As Max Caster lands down, and Anthony Bowens covers his partner for 2, which Excalibur says wasn't allowed yet the ref counts it and blind tags by Max Caster on Anthony Bowens, who is trying for a crucifix pin on Isaiah Cassidy as he went a mic drop, and Anthony Bowens hits the arrival. I was thinking Anthony Bowens hits the arrival, but Floyd interrupts the elbow, allowing the Private Party to hit the gin and juice to pin Max Caster, and that's how the Private Party won with the gin and juice for the win, and that's how they won with the gin and juice for the win, and that's how the Private Party defeated Matt Caster and pitted him, and that's what happened right there, guys. Then Orange Cassidy was backstage and interviewed by Miss Naylor, and Orange Cassidy says tonight AEW sent a message back to the Death Riders. Yes, guys, they were called the Blackpool Combat Club. They're not the Blackpool Combat Club anymore. They're called the Death Riders. Yes, guys, they're called the Death Riders now. Then Private Party proves a point when they won the tag team titles, and they all won AEW. And tonight, Orange Cassidy shows that AEW doesn't need Jon Moxley. They take everything that AEW World Title presents and puts in its backpack to become the new World Champion. Then we had MJF defeating Roderick Strong. This was a decent match. Decent match, man, I'm telling you. Decent match. And then Thank Me Later banner falls in the ring for MJF's entrance as they quickly belt onto the bell and takes the microphone, and MJF says the people like Strong because he's just like them and white trash, and asks if it's offended the dumpster fire of the world, New Jersey, while he was out shooting movies and Strong's mother was busy shooting his daddy, and Roderick Strong went after MJF, tried a chomp against the post, but MJF ducks a strong and smacks the still, and MJF straps Strong's fingers between the metal of the buckle before hitting a powerbomb onto the edge of the apron, and MJF trash talks Strong back inside the ring, but eats some hard chomps while turns MJF chest beat red essentially, and Roderick Strong answers with a half Nelson backbreaker and gets some time recovery, and jumping knee strikes into the corner, connects and falls by an ankle slam to give Roderick Strong a near fall, and MJF tries an answer with a huge sticker but was sent flying outside, where Roderick Strong meets him with a backbreaker onto the railing, and back inside MJF gets a boot in the corner and sends to mock Adam Cole and tries a Penera Sunrise, which Roderick Strong counters into another backbreaker, and both men slowly up, this time with MJF striking first, hitting the hammerlock spike DDT, and MJF tries the trash talk one more, but eats a series of chops and drop kicks for his trouble, and Strong shots the double leg and Strong's into the Texas coral leaf, and MJF goes to the ring break as they both go up, and Roderick Strong fires up an End of Heartache, but gets his foot on the ropes, break in the count, and MJF bells onside the ring to back inside, and MJF counters End of Heartache into a roll up in for 2. And Roderick Strong up first and hits a Turner rack, backbreaker, fireman carry, gutbuster, and sick kick before going for another end of heartache, but MJF turns it into a brainbuster for a double down, and Roderick Strong strips in an arm over for a 2 count, but MJF sinks into the salt of the earth for a very quick submission from Roderick Strong, and then that's what happened right there. I'll say it again. That's how he won. I'll say it again. MJF spins into the salt of the earth for a very quick submission from Roderick Strong, and that's how he won. And that's how MJF defeated Roderick Strong, guys. And that's what happened with the you know what I'm saying, with the salt of earth, the very quick submission, and that's how he won, guys. And then after the match, the post match, MJF brought a chair in the ring and burst in the arm of Roger Strong to Adam Cole, and Matt Bennett and Matt Devin sprint into the ring, but it was too little too late, and MJF bells through the crowd as Kyle O'Reilly joins, checking on Roger Strong and shoves Adam Cole down, screaming that Adam Cole was too late and he has a point, and Kyle O'Reilly helps Roger Strong to the back as Matt Devin and Mike Bennett were left with Adam Cole. Then we had a banger. Then we had a banger with Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. This was a banger. This was a banger. This was a banger with Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. I thought this was going to just be a decent match, but you know what I'm saying. So let's talk about it. Chris Statlander uses her power advantage out the gauge, turning official suplex into a press slam and rolling Suicide into a stunning moonsault, gets a early near fall as Mercedes Moné takes a powder, and Chris Statlander wants a duplex to the floor, but Mercedes Moné went to the eye and hits a wild step up Hurricanrana off the apron, and Madison followed up to the apron as Mercedes Moné demands a count out pin and baseball slide sends Chris Statlander into the announce table as Mercedes Moné chucks her into the steps and hits another Metatron into them, and a third Metatron back. I'll say again, Mr. back into a near fall and leaving Mercedes Moné furious and speechless at the referee in a sense offense counter, and Mercedes Moné turns a Chris Statlander powerbomb and sends into a neck breaker for for 2, and a sunset flip into the corner led to a fourth double knee by Mercedes Moné and gets another 2 count, and Chris Statlander throws Mercedes Moné a set of a tornado DDT ascents as Mercedes Moné went for a fifth Mercedes offense this time, and it comes back to eat her as Chris Statlander caught and drops her into the corner, and the commentary talks about how it was about to happen with Mercedes Moné trying to get it some off the. Also again, commentary talks about how it was about to happen with Mercedes Moné trying it so often, and snap power slam from Chris Statlander, who hits a series of counters charged to a Chaos Theory fold up Mercedes Moné for 2, with Mercedes Moné getting a foot on the rope, and Chris Statlander tries pulling Mercedes Moné up, but the momentum saw Mercedes Moné slipped up and turned into a crucifix bomb and into a. I'll say it again. Mercedes Moné flips up into a crucifix bomb, and a statement maker was locked in as Chris Statlander powers out, and Mercedes Moné hits a backstabber for a near fall, and Mercedes Moné hits another Matarana in the most defensive one of the match for 2, and Chris Statlander caught a charging Mercedes Moné with a serious lariat as she followed with the twisting fireman carry for a close 2 of her own, and Chris Statlander wanted a Saturday Night Fear, but Mercedes Moné swings through into a spike DDT and had a meltdown off, getting only 2 and then 3 Migos from Mercedes Moné as she went up top for a frog splash, but it slinks into a slinch of Chris Statlander who hits a F5 from the close for 2 of the match, and Chris Statlander won it a 450 but crashes and burns as Mercedes Moné charges the bad right knee repeatedly and hits a frog splash into it. And Sicily backstabber leads into the bank maker, which looks really awesome, but again only mentions two, and both ladies sense for pin as sits leaving Chris Atlantic to power up. Wanted a Saturday Night Fear, but Mercedes Monet eats the bag leg and swinging Chris Statlander into the ropes and gets the roll up for the win. And that's how Chris Statlander lost the match, and that's how Mercedes Monet won the match with a roll up, and that's how Chris Statlander defeated Chris Statlander, which was a great match. Like I said again, Mercedes Monet versus Chris Statlander was a great match, guys. And like I said again, Mercedes Monet won by roll up, and that's what happened right there. And then we had another great match. Jay White fences Adam Page. Jay White defeated Adam Page again, just like he did at Wrestle Dream, and he beat him again here at Full Gear, guys. So let's talk about it. Adam Page wastes no time sending White over the top to the outside and charging the ankle, which thanks to Adam Page himself keeping White out of action for 3 months this year. After posing the ankle, it was Page sent on to the ring and a slow and sense attack from Adam Page to Jay White and turned into the site, and since Adam Page has since healed hurt leg that momentum was only fenced as Adam Page responds with a fall away. I'll say it again, guys. The momentum was only fenced as Adam Page responds with a fall away slam into the corner as following chants from the crowd. Back again, guys. Sorry about that. Dueling chants from the crowd rang out after flipping off the crowd, and Adam Page hits another fall-away slam off the second rope, which got a near fall, and Adam Page takes too long, which allows Jay White to post Adam Page's bad leg essentially time before going up to the corner for a big-time superplex, and both slowly up and take turns, just heavying their bodies at the other injured body parts to chase to the double down and forearm and change, turn to wild loud lariats, which just echoed throughout the arena to Jay White manage a flatlander and snap duplex. Adam Page sends up and got a disruption up pop-up powerbomb for another reset, and Adam Page wanted dead eyes on the apron, but Jay White escapes into a brutal half and half fold up Adam Page on his neck, and Jay White falls with another one onto the floor towards to the ramp, and instead of taking a countdown, he hold the ref to the stop the count and came with him, and the delay allowed Adam Page to recover enough to chuck Jay White into the barricade after Jay White ankle gave out in a duplex since with his ankle tripped between the barricade, and Adam Page boots it and since an ankle lock, and the ref puts the count on both men as Jay White crawls into the ringside area still into a submission as Adam Page break the hold and made it at the count of 9, but so did Jay White. And then Adam Page messes Jay White for a block shot, but flips into a flatlander since only to counter into another ankle lock, and Jay White rolls through and sends Adam Page to the apron and got a dragon screw through the ropes and big time interwrench from Jay White and got a close to as he went Blade Runner, and Adam Page again went for the ankle lock, which Jay White counters this time into a figure four, and Adam Page goes to the ropes and crawls into the corner, but Jay White was there for another dragon screw, and there since the wrist insurance into follow-up from Jay White allows Adam Page to hit 2 dead eyes, but Jay White kicks out and Adam Page skins the cat and tries a block shot, and Jay White nearly counters into a and Adam Page with the again, and this Jay White rolls through and got up and caught Adam Page into a Blade Runner for the win out of nowhere, and that's what happened right there, guys. I'll say it again, guys. Got up and caught Adam Page with a Blade Runner for the win out of nowhere, and that's how Jay White won. And Jay White smiled as he remained Adam Page that he has 5 wins on him now. With the 1 win, Adam Page has been pretty tented, and that's what happened right there, guys, with the Blade Runner. With the Blade Runner, man. Love that move, like I tell you guys, on my old channel, but, you know, my other channel is not here anymore, so. Then the post-match, Jay White celebrates up the ramp, but when he turns his back, Adam Page went up after and laid him out, and Christopher Daniels and officials come out to stop him, and Adam Page drops Christopher Daniels as well. Both Jay White and Christopher Daniels were helped to the back as Adam Page storms out. Then we had another banger, man. I know I was not really hyped about this, but the match was great, though. I'm telling you, the match was great. At first, I was like, eh. And then when I watched it, it was amazing, man. So let's talk about it. Kyle Fletcher defeated Will Ospreay with Kyle Fletcher with Don Callis, you know, and stuff like that. And the Punisher is since gear from Will Ospreay, as we also have flashy new entrance music and stuff like that. And then Kyle Fletcher and the bell rings, and these two waste no time going full speed with Kyle Fletcher getting the first takedown. And Will Ospreay sends Kyle Fletcher outside with a dive, but Kyle Fletcher sets step and sends Will Ospreay into the railing, and both trade suplexes onto the steps till Will Ospreay lands over to the steps and then launches off them with a Husqvarna back inside, and Kyle Fletcher fights back and spikes Will Ospreay with a DDT, stripping away at the cinch tape, and it was trying a brain buster on the apron while Will Ospreay counters, but Kyle Fletcher rinses into the neck before hitting a brain buster onto the floor, and Kyle Fletcher keeps Will Ospreay grounded as Don Callis on commentary talks about not caring at all that Will Ospreay lost feelings on his arm to holding his child, and all Don Callis cares about is Kyle Fletcher, and flying kicks to the neck and land to a shrimp's DDT in the ropes for a near fall and Dragon Sleeper but Will Ospreay escapes and tries a head scissors and DDT, but Kyle Fletcher counters into a driver, and Kyle Fletcher misses a counter charge, and Will Ospreay fired off a hella kick and followed with a Sky Twister Sky Twister press to the floor, so oppressive even Don Callis had to put himself over. PP Cheerio connects back inside as Will Ospreay hits a Chanaka kick to Kyle Fletcher and starts a chip battle, and Kyle Fletcher chest. I'll say it again. Kyle Fletcher's chest is bleeding, and so he pumps fakes as a chomp and sends it a chomp inside, and this only pisses Will Ospreay off, who hits a cinch kick and spinning Turner crack bomb for 2, and hiding blade ducks, but Will Ospreay connects on a hit kick only to try an Ospreay cutter, which Kyle Fletcher counters into a neck breaker in midair. Oh man, that was sick. And then misses set out powerbomb and got in super close near fall as the crowd are cheering loudly for its chant and all that. I was thinking, cheering loudly for the scene, and then Kyle Fletcher with a counter charge boot, but Will Ospreay fought back with a Sundog Billionaire and tries a spot where Will Ospreay was cut off with skinning the cat. We're going to turn into a tombstone outside, but they since flump into the since hitting the move, and Kyle Fletcher beats the count at 9, but he rolls in, and Will Ospreay meets him with a springboard drop kick and a perfect lip faith for 2, and then a shoulder pay remove as Will Ospreay boom, and then Will Ospreay went a hiding blade, and Kyle Fletcher ducks and tries a crazy series of counters to a sending Spanish fly and hits for Will Ospreay, and hiding blade charges, but Kyle Fletcher turns it inside out with a lariat. Then Will Ospreay sits and had some fight left and fired off a hiding blade for the reset, and Will Ospreay again went for another awesome live of faith, but since laid out of a brainbuster, since with a style clash as he rolls Kyle Fletcher over and sends him with a Highland blade, but Kyle Fletcher manages to kick out, and then Will Ospreay, since violently punches at the back of the head while on the apron before looking down and at the steps, sets up for earlier, and he went for a stormbreaker off the apron, but Kyle Fletcher floats over and hits a tombstone off the apron onto the steps into a amazing spot that got an holy man. Then Kyle Fletcher told Will Ospreay he refuses to win and count out, and he wants to show he's better than him. And as they go back inside, where Kyle Fletcher hits a charging leg lariat and reverses tombstones, where he is the Grimstone for 2, and moves that was just as scary looking as the Tiger Driver. If I'm sincerely honest, it was great, and that's what Kyle Fletcher went for next. But Will Ospreay rolls into a pin ascent for 2, and Will Ospreay throw the Highland blade, but nothing but was behind it. In a sense, with Kyle Fletcher no selling and a lariat fold, Will Ospreay up before a hella kick landed into a brain buster onto the top rope and gave Kyle Fletcher the victory. And that's how Kyle Fletcher won, with the brain buster on the top. Amazing, just amazing, man. Then the post-match, Kyle Fletcher stand over the fallen Will Ospreay as Mark Davis comes to the ring to taunt into fallen friend, and Kyle Fletcher says that they deserve each other as Don Callis has the crown with him in commentary, saying in order to become a king, you have to kill a king, and this was Kyle Fletcher's shining moment as a single star. Then we had Mariah May and Mia AEW Women's Title Champagne Celebration, which was fun, guys. A lot of people said it was garbage and stuff, but I thought it was fun, though. I thought it was fun. And Mia makes her entrance, as Nigel McGuinness says earlier in the show, they bring the boom. Well, now it's time for the booze, where it was hilarious cutoff and all of that stuff. And then Tony Schiavone and Mia introduced May, who was having a big shine on her eye, into the stage as a photo of them both as the AEW Women's title was set up. And Mariah May was there, not as a single woman alive who can touch her. And Mariah May also says she couldn't have done it without Mia, as the two toasted champagne. And Mia says, long may she I'll say it again. Long as May she reigns. And Mariah May says it's time to celebrate, as the two start dancing till Mia turns her back, and Mariah May was about to check her with a champagne bottle, but was enough, and Mia kicks the bottle out of Mariah May's hand and tackles her off in the cage, with both both crashing through the table, and Mia got up with her and mouth bleeding as she kissed to the forehead of Mariah May before being forced away. And then I'm telling you guys right here, guys, this yeah, man, I'm telling you, Daniel Garcia being the freaking AEW TNA champion now, baby. Yes, Daniel Garcia being the TNT champion. I said TNA, didn't I? I'll say it again. Daniel Garcia defeated Jack Perry to win the TNT championship. I'll say it again. Daniel Garcia defeated Jack Perry to become the TNT champion, guys. The TNT champion. Telling you, guys, I was so happy for Daniel Garcia. So freaking happy. So let's talk about it, guys. So Matt Menard joins commentary as a video package for Daniel Garcia was shown before his entrance, with the focus being on finish what he started. And Daniel Garcia's mother's voice was in the background, saying he always been around helping the people and he cares about, but needs to realize it's time to do what's best for him, and she would be praying for him since Jack Perry got free from being tied to a chair and said on Wednesday, so he's here and playing his mind games, taking powder in the early going. And after the cat and mouse was done, Daniel Garcia slams Jack Perry into the ceiling repeatedly before putting Jack Perry into the front row and bursts delay of Daniel Garcia breaking to the count, allowing Jack Perry to hit a Shrimps DDT off the apron to the floor before during another off barricade, and Jack Perry keeps grounding Daniel Garcia to a Jasun suplex, gives Daniel Garcia some time to recover and starts a crucifix, and Jack Perry got a drop toe hold into a snare trap as the crowd is very quiet at this time, at this point, and Daniel Garcia was dragged into the apron while Jack Perry hits a back suplex on the edge of the ring before trying to go Matt Menard into fighting, but shoving him, and Jack Perry took Daniel Garcia over us again. Daniel Garcia over and power bombed him brutally through the timekeeper's table and dumped trash on him for good measure. And Matt Menard taunted to Daniel Garcia, who eventually broke the count. And Daniel Garcia starts slowly firing up as Jack Perry was toying with him as Lariats took Jack Perry's head off a house of fire. And Daniel Garcia runs wild with charges and a butterfly suplex stacks in the corner and both fletch out well up to the corner. Well, Jack Perry land darks and Daniel Garcia into the corner buckle and hits a set out slam for two, and Jack Perry grabs the TNT title and teases it to toss it down to Daniel Garcia and darks him to use it for some reason, and Daniel Garcia since debuted losing it would been DQ, but he gave it back to the ref, and the distraction led Jack Perry to hit a low blow and charging knee, but Daniel Garcia kicks out and Jack Perry went for another knee, and Daniel Garcia since Jack Perry and tries a third time, but Daniel Garcia got a jackknife pin for two, and Daniel Garcia blocks a superplex and trips for the two and hits a nasty power driver for two of his own, and both start throwing slaps to Daniel Garcia starts chomping the hell out of Jack Perry repeatedly, and Jack Perry just smiles as Daniel Garcia starts him with another power driver, and Daniel Garcia sinks into the Dragon Tabor and sinks back after Jack Perry failed to get into the ropes, and he essentially taps and gets a huge pop, and that's how he won, and that's how Daniel Garcia won by submission. And yes, Daniel Garcia tapped Jack Perry out, and that's what happened right there, guys. Then the post, Daniel Garcia holds up the AEW flag while marching to the back. And that's what happened right there, guys. We're going to take a little break right here, guys, and we're going to talk about Tutesta versus Ricochet, which was a decent match. It wasn't fantastic, but it was decent with Tutesta and Ricochet. It was a decent match. Okay, let's talk about it, guys. So let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. Like I said again, sorry that I say that a lot. But anyways, guys, the commentary puts over how both Tatesha and Ricochet will be involved in the Wrestling Dynasty on January 5th, and after the filling of percents, Ricochet pops off an early springboard crossbody, but Tatesha blocks a tiger flint kick in the ropes and boots Ricochet's head off into the outside, and Tatesha connects on a brutal back suplex onto the barricade as back inside the body part is sewn in on Ricochet's back, and Tatesha hits a picture of perfect spinning side suplex for two as he works over the small of the back to Ricochet went to do a springboard, but back gives out and Tatesha Precious slams him clear across the ring and back as Tatista was about to near back from his forearm. Ricochet connects on a rolling dropkick and handspring back elbow for the reset, and Ricochet sends Tatista from corner to corner till this time essentially hitting the springboard clothesline. Low bridge and Zanari sends Tatista into the outside as Ricochet connects on a Sins special before a 450 splash hits a 4-2, and Don Callis left commentary and tried to fire up Tatista, so that results in a loud F Don Callis, F Don Callis, F Don Callis, F Don Callis. They were they were cussing at Don Callis chants, and that was really good stuff right there. Then Ricochet misses a axe kick and hits a tris kick, but a handspring led to a corner into a blue thunder bomb, but Tatista for two, and Ricochet blocks the power drive knee, but not the win up for arm. I'll say it again, not the win up forearm, but as Tatista keeps throwing everything behind his shot, Ricochet floats over a German suplex trying a resist, but Tatista rolls through into the German suplex, and Tatista misses a lariat as Ricochet hits one of his own for the double down, and Tatista launches Ricochet into the corner and hits a release avalanche German suplex before a lariat turns Ricochet inside out for two. Then power drive knee hits a flash back again. Ricochet kicks out, and Tatista again went after the back before going up top, but Ricochet slints up with a Hurricanrana followed up by a Poison Guarana again up top, and Ricochet hits the shooting star press for a close two, and Ricochet singles for the spirit gun miss try Virgo, but Tatista counters into the Bastard Driver for two, and Tatista went for his knee, but Ricochet dodges into a brainbuster and a bench slants for a close to near fall, and Ricochet one more went up top, but took too long, allowing Tatista to lunge him and hit a pump kick avalanche Falcon Arrow for the win, and that's how Tatista defeated Ricochet with the avalanche Falcon Arrow for the win, guys. Then we had Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland, which was good, guys. Which was good. And the debut of Bobby Lashley, good stuff right here, guys. Good stuff right here. Debut pay-per-view for Bobby Lashley. Debut pay-per-view of AEW for him, guys. Really good match for him. Good match for Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley and Swerve Strickland was a good match. Loved it. Just loved this match with Bobby Lashley and Swerve Strickland, man. I'm telling you. Love this match, I'm telling you. Let's talk about it. So, Jim Ross joins commentary for the final two matches of the evening as he says he danced like Prince Nana when he wakes up in the morning and feels good. And Bobby Lashley shows off his power early, going to the point where he was picking Swerve Strickland up from a penitent of a spinning slam, one arm official suplex connects as Prince Nana gets to the crowd behind Swerve Strickland, who fires back with chomps back, one thrown chomp from Bobby Lashley, who puts him back in control, running power slam, and gets another two for Bobby Lashley, who slowly the match down with a chin lock, which Swerve Strickland official since selling it was amazing, and Bobby Lashley misses a corner charge as Swerve Strickland seems to go for a swerve stomp, but Shelton Benjamin runs distraction, allowing for Bobby Lashley to recover and launches Swerve Strickland with a running tackle. And then back inside the ring, Swerve Strickland starts mounting a comeback, but Shelton Benjamin straps him and got a caught by the ref, so it was ejection onto the other side of the ring, and Swerve Strickland tries a slingshot crossbody, but Bobby Lashley caught and slammed Swerve Strickland onto the edge of the apron before chucking him into the barricade, and Bobby Lashley admission the steps and tried a power slam onto him, but Swerve Strickland sends him crashing into the post and stepped repeatedly into the eye of Bobby Lashley, and Swerve Strickland went for a DDT on the apron, but it looked like Bobby Lashley missed, essentially just went awkwardly outside, and Bobby Lashley sumps over the Spanish announce area, and Swerve Strickland floats in with a swerve stomp off the steps through the table back inside. House of Call hits splash as Swerve Strickland went top and hitting the swerve stomp, but Bobby Lashley kicks out. Then Bobby Lashley went outside as Swerve Strickland got the right in MVP's face, but the delay allows Bobby Lashley to hit a release overhead suplex. I'll say it again. Overhead, belly to belly, over the belly. I'll say it again, guys. I'll repeat it again. I'll start all over. House House calls flat hit splash as Swerve Strickland went up top, hitting the Swerve stop as Bobby Lashley kicks out, and Bobby Lashley went outside as Swerve Strickland got right into MVP's face, but the delay allows Bobby Lashley to hit a release overhead belly to belly and a wild spear through the barricade. Back in the ring, Bobby Lashley measures and turns Swerve Strickland back inside out with another spear before hitting him away with the heart lock as Swerve Strickland passes out, and that's how Swerve Strickland won with the heart lock. The Fel Nelson. That was good, guys. That was really good. Then the post-match prison nut was tossed in the ring by MVP and a returning Shelton Benjamin as Bobby Lashley since the hard lock again too. He also went out. Man, I'm telling you, that was a good match. Then we had the main event. Jon Moxley with Maria Shafir facing, Jon Moxley facing Orange Cassidy, and I'll say it again, Jon Moxley with Maria Shafir defeating Orange Cassidy to retain the AEW World Title. This was a good match. I liked it. It was decent. It wasn't great. It wasn't like fantastic, but it was decent though. It was decent. And sorry about that again, guys. Getting calls and reporting calls. So the Death Riders pulled up to the arena in their truck and stuff like that. And then Orange Cassidy came out, with his pack and all of that good stuff, And they spell out to the commentary table while Orange Cassidy lips up Jon Moxley with punches and bunch before eating the head, and biting the head, and Jon Moxley restrainedly went at the eyes and Bronson Orange Cassidy into the barricade before things spelled out to the crowd, and Jon Moxley drags Orange Cassidy back inside ringside and daring him to fight back before stomping Orange Cassidy's head into the steps, busting him open into bursts and stuff like that, and Orange Cassidy to be the one to bleed in this and stuff, which was awesome. And then Jon Moxley connects with a paradigm shift on the steps, and he distracts the ref long enough for Maria Shafir to get into her shot. And finally, in the ring now, Jon Moxley is incensed in his attack, biting at the blood forehead before hitting a grunt style power driver for 2. So Jon Moxley went back to punches, and Jon Moxley places Orange Cassidy on the Spanish announce table and stuff like that, which was great. And then well, his hand was covered in Orange Cassidy's blood. Jon Moxley high-fived Maria Shafir, and her reaction was priceless. And Orange Cassidy starts firing up the crowd and got behind him as he refused to back down. To Jon Moxley punched him in the rib and hits the released suplex and Akora since, but Orange Cassidy got through the ropes and rolled into the apron, and Jon Moxley charged, and Orange Cassidy went crashing into the barricade as Jon Moxley flips off the crowd, and Jon Moxley dares Orange Cassidy and fights back, and he tried to back again, and also again. Jon Moxley dared Orange Cassidy to fight back, and he tried, but again, Jon Moxley hits him so hard. Orange Cassidy felt like a mannequin. While in the corner, Jon Moxley fiercely raised the eye, which looked even cooler with the bloody hands and stuff. And Jon Moxley returns the favor, but as he flips for the DDT off the top, and Jon Moxley just popped him up midair with a forearm, and Orange Cassidy hits at the. I'll say it again, guys. I'll repeat it again. Jon Moxley fiercely raised the back, which looks even cooler with the bloody hands, but Orange Cassidy returns the favor, but as he lips for the DDT off the top, and Jon Moxley just pops him midair with a forearm, and Orange Cassidy bites on the finger, but flips trapped into our sends back up to the corner, and Jon Moxley went for an avalanche pile driver, but Orange Cassidy frits free and hits his flying DDT, and spinning DDT connects, as well as Orange Cassidy went for another orange punch, but Jon Moxley meets him with a cutter. Both start painting brushes in the hell of each other, which turns to a forearm as Orange Cassidy was on spaghetti legs, but keeps darting Jon Moxley to hit him till he puts his hands into the pocket and fires off little kicks, and Orange Cassidy ducks a lariat and fires off 2 and orange punches, but I'll say it again, orange punches, which I'll say it again. Boom, 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 boom. Good stuff. And then orange punches, but followed with a cinch pin for 2, and Orange Cassidy cinch up for a third orange punch, and beach break for a near fall, which was a great back call to Orange Cassidy, winning their match from last Full Gear, and that's what happened right there, guys. And then Claudio Castagnoli and Pac sins from the crowd and looked like they were going to get in the ring, but Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly and Rocky Romero, they said even the odds, but it was 3-on-2 outside as Rocky Romero hits a top rope dive onto the pill with the ref. Attention turns. Maria Shafir was in the ring with the briefcase about to strike when a return Willow Nightingale makes the save and tackles Maria Shafir to the floor to a huge reaction. Orange Cassidy got the briefcase, waffles Jon Moxley as the ref turns around and counts the close 2 of the match, and Jon Moxley was strampling around and grabbing the ref, which allows Wheeler Yuta to fly with a running knee as it led to a Death Rider by Jon Moxley to get the victory, and that's how Jon Moxley won with the Death Rider, and that's how he won and retained the AEW World title, guys. And then the post-match, Wheeler Yuta grabs a bottle of what we're told were chemicals used with clean ringside as Jon Moxley held Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta dumped the bottle on Orange Cassidy, and Adam Page then storms into the ring with a chair, and I'll say it again. Jon Moxley holds Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta dumps the bottle on Orange Cassidy, and I'll say it again, and Adam Page then storms into the ring with a chair, ducks Wheeler Yuta into the head with a side of it before staring down, and Jon Moxley, it was all a way to sucker Jon Moxley in as Christian Cage hits the ring and connects with a kill switch on Jon Moxley as Adam Page picks up Christian Cage's contract case case and slowly gives it to Christian Cage. Just as Christian Cage was about to give it to the ref, Jay White runs down and prevents Christian Cage from doing it and hitting him with a Blade Runner, and Pac and Claudio Castagnoli attack Jay White, who was lefting at the Death Riders to sense away, and then Jay White grabs a chair and storms to the back as the Death Riders were going to their truck, and a car slams into a car slams into from off the screen, and it was Darby Allin and stuff, and Darby Allin hit his skateboard, and he was getting freaking mad and stuff, and he said, "I'm ready for you," and all of that, and ready for you, and all of that good stuff, guys, and all of that. So it storms out of the car and bleeding from the head, and the Death Riders steal the key from another car and hide still with it, and screaming from them to finish things right off as the show went off air. And I give this show a 7 out of 10, guys. A 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. The build up was okay. I thought the build up was okay to Full Gear. I thought it was okay. We had some good shows on Dynamite and Collision as well. We had some good shows. It was decent, you know. The shows haven't been great, but they've been good though. Dynamite and Collision, in my opinion. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it, but that's just my opinion. And MLW did very good with their Slaughterhouse, like I said again. But yes, guys, we got freaking World's End next month, World's End, and we got this tournament going on with the Continental Classic, for the second time. So that's going to be really good. Can't wait for that and stuff. Just can't wait, man. And other stuff than that, guys, I'll talk about Monday Night Raw probably tomorrow morning or whenever. But anyways, guys, that's all I have to say. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells. And this is Christopher Jackson Denver, and welcome to the new channel and my first live on this new channel, my first live. So I appreciate it very much, guys, and I appreciate it very much. Like I said again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always, and we're out. Peace out and take care, guys. Peace out and take care. And this is Christopher Jackson Denver. And we're out.